Watch this video.
And my name is Rima Jabber, and I'm so excited to be at this year's ColorCrafters event among so many amazing artists in Berlin, Germany. A little bit about me. I am a proud Schwarzkopf Canadian ambassador. I'm a salon owner, global educator, and the founder and creator of the CADŌ curly method. Today and over the next few days, you'll be seeing me in action as I cut, color, and style two beautiful curly models with different textures and curl types using mainly the Schwarzkopf blonde. I'm so excited to show you all these beautiful looks. If you want to stay connected and see more behind the scenes footage, formulas, and extras, you can follow me at Hair by Rima on TikTok. Hi everyone. I'm Rima, and this is my beautiful model Alex. She's so pretty. I'm so excited to be here among so many talented artists to show you what I do, just like you guys, and especially in regards to content. So we're gonna get started with one of my favorite pieces of content these days, which is consultations. People seem to really love consultations because maybe it resonates with them and their previous experiences. So I really wanted to show this consultation. Even though she is a model, I still feel like I need to respect what she wants. I want her to love her hair. So let's show the consultation video. Alex, what are you doing today?
Oh, we're getting blonde hair. I've been blonde before. It was the worst experience ever. Showed her a picture of Beyonce. I was like, oh, like this. And it turned out to be orange. Like solid, one color.
Do you prefer dimension?
Oh, I would love that.
Still brown in
Like to
between.
keep it natural, yes.
And when was the last time you did any color to your hair?
Years ago was blonde,
Yeah.
and then I had henna, but that's long time. That's like, henna is like 2 years ago. Yeah. And hairstylist, I'm trusting since 4 years.
So this is henna right here. We might have to go for more caramel blonde.
That actually, I would love more caramel. I would love more
Oh, so you
caramel.
like caramel?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me what you like about this.
I love that it has this copper tone. You know, the blonde and copper mix. Oh, I love it.
Look, I did feel like you would look really good. Like I had another plan for you to take you blonde, and then I saw you and I'm like, I feel like copper would look so good on her, like gold copper, gold copper. Definitely the safer way with henna.
Yes, yes.
What do you want to do in terms of the haircut?
Keep the length.
Yeah.
I worked so hard for
Yeah.
this with length. But I would love it. I would love volume. Yeah.
Now, are we doing bangs or no bangs?
What do you think?
My original plan for you was no bangs,
Yeah.
but because you're doing, ooh, that, see, already that looks beautiful. Since you're doing the round shape, bangs always suits the round shape.
Yes.
And then you can always push it to the side, especially your curl type looks so good.
Yeah.
Now, are we ready? Are you comfortable?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm comfortable too.
Yes.
Yay! So she threw me a curveball. So apparently when we came here, she had virgin hair, but she had henna in her hair, which was okay with me because clients on Instagram love to see a curveball or something, you know, crazy. So the henna part was really actually fun to do, and she looked it so beautifully. So this is our plan. I have a little video of our plan, if you can. So today we did a beautiful cut on her just to round out her shape and remove some of her dead ends. She has a little bit of henna in her hair. Initially we planned on doing neutral and warm mix of blondes in her hair. However, because of the henna, we have to go with more of a caramel, copper, towards that tone direction. So today we're going to be doing a few mixes of copper tones, and in between will be a very warm, light brown tone, which is going to really accentuate her features, and it's going to look super beautiful on her. So we're going to start by using this Blonde Me Vitamin C shot, just to remove any buildup in her hair. She does use a lot of curly hair products. She also, as I mentioned before, has henna in her hair. So it's great to start by using this product and making sure that we have a clean canvas to work with. We're also going to be using the Blonde Me Bleach and Tone colors. We're going to go with the Ash Blonde Me Bleach and Tone color to make sure that as we're lifting her, we're also neutralizing, so we don't have too much orangey in the hair. We're keeping it towards the coppery, pinky tone direction rather than an orangey tone direction. So yeah, the detox actually did a lot for her hair. The henna really, I mean, the Blonde Me Lightener with the violet additive, I actually ended up using the violet instead of ash because I didn't want to ash her out too much, and it ended up really evenly lightening her, and we ended up with this. So the next video will be a video of the process, and I'll be describing it. This is her before. Still beautiful, but you can see that she has some lightness on her ends. That's the henna. We ended up using the violet additive. We only used 1 gram because 1 gram really goes a long way. With 40 grams of lightener and 55 grams of developer, which is my preferred consistency. We ended up just doing a foliage. It was brick-laid in the back and then horizontal sections on the side. I really wanted to keep dimension, but the main focus was to really saturate her ends to make sure that the henna really comes out or lifts evenly. A little bit orange was okay because we did want to create this beautiful warm look. For her base we used coppers and chocolates, and then for her ends we went with something a little lighter. So 877, 767 I believe. You can get all that formula on the next slide. And typically when you use the violet additive or the ash additive, you really have to spray it down and take a towel and wipe it down to actually see the color. It could be very intense, but this time we didn't need to do it because we only used 1 gram, so it was easy to see. Then for the toners, I ended up using Peach Sorbet as her shadow root in combination with the Deep Chestnut, and for her ends, Peach Sorbet and Clear. And I really, really loved how that looked, but I'll get through this first. So we ended up just doing vertical sections for the toning, and then for the end toner, I just like to kind of put it on everywhere. I just like to work with my hands. I'm not super duper clean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm more artistic and not super clean with my looks, but it's art at the end of the day. And that's the end toner.
I feel like you work real passionately, real juicy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was watching you because I was right next to you. It was really, you were intense.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah.
It was really, really hot up there.
It was hot.
Everything processed really fast, too fast. So this is the processing of the peach sorbet. I really, really loved how it looked. But I did need a little more copper, so I ended up adding Chroma ID. I did the 846 clear with the 777. And I really loved how that looked. You see how I'm just like slathering that everywhere? That's how I work. We ended up doing her eyebrows because we didn't want it to look too harsh against her hair and her skin, and she really wanted it done. So we ended up doing it, and it looks beautiful. And this is the final look. She's really feeling it. So I want you to notice her definition yesterday and the shrinkage in her hair. So day 1 typically is more shrunken and it is more defined, but I didn't want to restyle her today. I really wanted you guys to see this look. I wanted you to see her day 2 hair, because typically curly girls really love their day 2, day 3 hair, right? Yeah, okay. So my next video will be a styling video. I'm gonna voice over it too, and then I will show you some styling tips later. So clients really love to see this too because they can do this at home as well. So these products, this is the first time I've actually used these because we don't have these in Canada, but I did use the jelly and what did I use? The mousse and the Bounty Balm. So my number 1 ingredient, or the number 1 product that I need for curly girls, is water. So if you see, I spray so much water on that hair, like a ton of water. It has to be dripping the whole time. And her hair is actually a little bit porous, so it does suck it up quite a bit, but I put maybe 10% product and the rest of it was water. So what I do is I take my Denman brush, I take horizontal sections, and I take my Denman brush, I take about 1/2 inch to 1 inch sections, brush it from underneath, and then I shake the hair and I scrunch. The more scrunching you do, the more definition you get. So scrunching is something I do a lot, but if you see her hair is like really wet. And this is finger rolling. There's finger rolling and finger coiling. I really love finger rolling. I'm just into that right now. It creates almost like as if you curled it with a curling iron look. And then I use the session labeled mousse. This gives a really nice cast actually, so I was really happy with that. When I diffuse until it's 100% dry, like 110% dry. Me and Bassam were diffusing together, thank you Bassam. And this is me separating the curls. This is one of the most important parts of your curly style. And this is what I'll be doing later. So this is some texture spray. But separating the curls is really one of the main things you should do. And this is just touching up the haircut. And that's it.
So what questions do we have? Because I know that there's some questions out there, especially for colorists that are wanting to do textured hair, but they're being held back by being a little scared of the style out. So what would you recommend to them? Because some people can do the color, and some people just can't finish out the hair. When did you what would you suggest to them?
You know what I would suggest? Something I do because every curly girl is different. I had one client with one side was like super curly and the other side was super wavy. So you have to cut it differently. But I would definitely ask your client how they do it at home. That's how I learned how to do curly hair. So I always ask my client how they like it, how they wear it, how they would style it. And then I use that in combination with what I know. But obviously education is number one. Like always do education and educate yourself.
So you're going to show
Yes.
what you do to add extra volume, say for the third day or for like a shoot?
So this is in general. She loves volume. Like she keeps telling me, like she loves definition, but I think she loves volume more. So no, everyone loves volume. Most of my clients love volume. Some of my clients actually don't like the definition. So this is what I like to do to give them even bigger hair. Although her hair is quite big today, but this is her day 2 hair. We're very happy with the volume today. But let's just give her, why not go a little bigger?
Okay, we have a question.
Okay.
Will the cut affect the way your curl pattern is? Like the way your curl will look at the end?
The final look?
Yeah.
So definitely, and that's why you also have to, once you cut it dry, well you have, okay, number one, this is a loaded question, okay? So number one is the consultation, and you really have to assess your client's hair. Because most curly girls either have super coily hair at their nape, or it could be super wavy. So it's very important to really assess which is the curliest part versus the waviest part in their hair. And everyone has different textures. She definitely does. So it's making sure that you know where the curl patterns are in the head.
Any other questions? Because I have like 7 or 8 to 9, 10. So something I saw in your video that I thought was incredibly captivating, I guess, is the foil. You didn't use clips for your foils.
Oh, yes.
You did something. What did you do up there?
Okay, so I'm against using clips when I'm foiling. I just want to avoid any kind of issues. When I tone, my toners are always so simple because I don't want bleeding, I don't want warmth, if I don't want it there, I don't want it there. So I use foils. Typically, especially when I do the money piece area or the front area, I lay a foil on top, and then I bring all the foils back and I separate the hair. So I remove the hair from in between the foils, and I clip it away. It's away. If the foils want to bleed, they can bleed. So I make sure that I use foil instead of clips, basically.
Yeah, I love that technique. And you said something about that. I had no idea that curly-haired girls really don't particularly like their first day hair because of the shrinkage, and that they actually like a little bit of frizz.
Yeah.
And I would have never thought that. So can you talk a little bit about that frizz and what's a good frizz and what's the bad frizz that we all know?
So times have changed, I think. I think people understood how to define their curls, and now they're like, okay, I'm done with the definition. I want volume, I want frizz. So I think it's a nice balance to have both. But I feel like it's very important to make sure that your hair, the curly hair, is styled perfectly and without frizz initially. So making sure that it's really, really defined, not touching it when it's too wet, and drying it until it's 100% dry. And once it's fully dry, go in there. Like mess it up, go in there, but don't touch it while it's wet. I think that's the main thing.
I told you, I know we're probably over, but I really do have another question. I wanted to know, you said something about 110% dry. Can you talk a little bit about the 100 and what makes it the 10% more dry?
So when you think it's dry, it's not dry. When you think it's dry, flip them forward, take some oil, break the cast, or just scrunch the hair, you're gonna feel some moisture, or even put the cool setting on. Just keep scrunching and you'll know that it's not dry. So you wanna make sure it's 100% dry, otherwise your final look won't be amazing.
You guys,
Oh my gosh, we have 1 minute.
This was so beautiful. Any other questions before we close? Because
We're gonna do some styling.
oh gosh, style already.
We're gonna style 54 seconds.
Okay, style. Go.
Okay, so to get even more volume, I'm gonna take my texture spray. This is like my favorite thing to do. And I'm just gonna spray. I'm gonna show the texture spray. This is really nice actually. And I love it because I wouldn't use a hairspray because it's just a little bit too much gold. And I put it at the roots. Usually I'm a little more, section a little bit better than that. Then I take my Denman brush.
Wow.
Can you go down even more? Okay. Then I'm just gonna pick the first 2 inches, 1 to 2 inches of her hair. You don't want to pick too much because you don't want to disrupt the curl pattern too much. Honestly, today we were okay with some frizz because she actually loves big hair. And her hair is typically not as defined as this. But I'm very happy with how the integrity of her hair is still really good. And then I'm going to take some oil, just to give it some shine.
I saw your model from yesterday and today. How much percentage of time has she spent in that position?
A lot.
A lot.
Most of the time.
I'm like,
all right.
I didn't see her face for a good couple hours. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put some oil and really get in there. And it just really looks so good. So it's never enough. It's never enough volume. You can even take the pick and go in here. I'm sorry if I'm hurting you because now we have so much. She's used to it, she said.
That's the story of my life. It's never enough.
How good does she look though?
So good.
Like, I love
Thank you so much, Rita. Incredible. Thank you. Let's have the model walk a little bit. Please stand up and take pictures.